What's going on, gamers? Welcome back to Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, and today we're trying out the US Army Death Tunnel defense. I got a lot of people requesting that I try out a death tunnel again, and so gosh dang it, we're doing it. The idea of a death tunnel is a narrow area where the enemy can only assault to. And speaking of which, we should go ahead and go into RTS mode here and command all of this enemy team here to funnel in to the death area. We're going to order them to attack and secondary attack objective as well, and that results in them, of course, charging through the death tunnel, and hopefully not too many of them try to flank around. But the idea of a death tunnel is to have them come through this tiny little area and set it up so that a small amount of defenders can stop a massive amount of attackers. So we have medieval footmen here attacking the death tunnel, and we have US soldiers defending. The first line here of the death tunnel is made up of shotgunners. So is the second line back here. The third line is 20 Sherman tanks, and then way back here we have assault infantry, which have SMGs that are able to fire out farther. So once the medieval knights come into range over here, they can start firing out at them. And then we also have assault infantry up top here, so these guys can fire down into the death tunnel from the sides. And all of this should culminate into just an impossible objective for the knights to actually end up taking here. The knights have 4.5 million soldiers. It was supposed to be 5 million, but apparently 500,000 of them got deleted before they were able to actually enter into the battlefield, versus a mere 8,000 US soldiers here. Now, the US soldiers do have other troopers defending the flanks around this way, and these guys were put here as a precaution in case the knights did try to flank, and it looks as though the knights are trying to flank. So if the flanks do end up breaking, then the death tunnel is going to be in a heck of a lot of trouble at the end of the day, because of course then these knights are going to swoosh on in from the sides and start attacking these fellers over this way. There's also shotgunners over here protecting this flank over this way, and they seem to be doing actually a lot better than the other shotgunners on the other flank over here. So it should be a really interesting battle, and we'll see if 5 million medieval soldiers manage to take over the death tunnel guarded by a mere 8,000 US soldiers. So far, the US already has 24,000 kills on the battlefield, and the center ground here seems to be holding quite nicely, although a few knights are getting in on the edges of the death tunnel defense over here. But again, thus far, the US soldiers seem to be doing pretty well here. So we'll keep this running for a good bit and check back in every so often to make sure the death tunnel is indeed still standing. But we might as well go ahead and do our first time lapse of the video right over here and watch these shotgunners just mow down knights as they come forward. Okay, gamers, so we're only a little bit into the time-lapse, and it's very clear to me that this death tunnel defense has no way of working. This is not going to work. So we're going to have to go back to the drawing board and try again, because already we have 660 dead US soldiers out of their 7,400. That's just too many losses already right off the rip. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board and come back. Alright boys, we're trying this thing again. I buffed the US numbers a little bit and also changed their organization. I also made it so the medieval soldiers were a little bit tighter here coming forward, and we're once again going to go ahead and select all of them and have them have orders to move this way and attack this way, so that way hopefully they don't go towards the flanks as much and they actually approach the death tunnel here. So we have the same shotgunners up front here, but they're backed up by 3 different rows of assault men. So there will be a lot more fire going into the zombies at the front of the death tunnel here. I removed a couple of the flanking assault troopers that were like facing this way and put them up there. And then I also went ahead and added a little bit more defense on the flanks. Not this flank. This flank stays with the shotgunners because they seem to be holding out pretty decently. But this flank over this way, since it was getting so much enemy fire, they have their shotgunners, but they also have assaultmen behind who can fire over the shotgunners and hit some of these medieval soldiers. So a little bit tighter of a defense, a little bit stronger, and hopefully this time it'll work out. We still have these boys up top here, and we've still got the Shermans, so we're still working with quite a bit in this death tunnel defense, and it seems like me ordering the troopers to attack back here doesn't seem to really be doing much because there's still a lot of them flanking around the sides, but it is what it is. That's just going to happen. Either way, why don't we go ahead and see if this one ends up working, because the last one clearly was not going to. So we'll go ahead and do another little bit of a time lapse here with these shotgunners and the medieval soldiers coming and attacking them, and hopefully this time they can hold out. They have 13,000 soldiers, and the medieval knights actually have 4.7 million this time, so they even got a little bit of a jump up in terms of numbers as well. Right now we're looking at 90 dead shotgunners and 25,000 dead medieval soldiers. Let's start our time lapse. Okay, this battle is also looking like it's gonna be a fat dumpy. A fat L, to be completely honest. The flanks seem to be taken care of for once, but the middle, I mean, is suffering, man. It's having a hard time, and that's with, you know, all this stuff back here firing together at the oncoming knights, and still these guys are really, really struggling. But you know, maybe once these guys get engaged and all that, and you know, the medieval knights start to dwindle a little bit more, and you know, more of these guys back here start getting engaged in the battle and stuff like that, maybe then it'll be okay. But right now the front is losing some troops real bad. Front is not looking too good right now, so that's definitely a bit of a problem. We'll let it ride, and we'll see. But right now, the medieval knights have killed 1,000 U.S. Army troopers, and the U.S. Army troopers have killed 114,000 enemies. I am just a little bit worried at the performance of the front. Let's check this flank over here, too. Yeah, these guys are doing fine as well. And then that other flank was also doing fine. It's just that middle that is extremely concerning right now for me. That middle is looking awfully bad, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I've still got a little bit of hope this time that it could happen and it could be a dubski, but it's looking challenging. Alright, so I was gone for like 20 minutes, and actually they're holding out okay right now. I mean, the shotgunners are all but dead. There's a couple over here hanging in there, but I don't expect them to live for very long. But the next few lines are actually managing to stay the course and hold out. They have lost 2,000 soldiers now, the U.S., but they've killed, you know, 266,000 enemies. That's pretty impressive. The left flank is pretty quiet. It's fairly quiet. Just a few knights trickling in here every once in a while. And then this other flank over here, let's go check that out right now. And they seem to be doing pretty well, too. Actually, these knights are running away from them, which is kind of funny. All right. So, yeah, really, the middle is where all the action is. What the heck is happening? Why are all the knights running away? Yo, that's gotta be a bug, right? What the heck? The knights are all, like, dispersed everywhere. Okay, let's see if we can't fix these knights and their AI pathfinding or whatever. Because this is definitely a smidge buggy. Yeah, we're gonna cancel all orders and order them to attack. There we go. Hopefully that gets the knights back on track. Maybe that's why we're holding out so well, is the knights are just straight up goofing. But yeah, here we go. Now the knights are actually attacking here. Why don't we go ahead and do our second time lapse, and this is going to be a long one. Let's do a long time lapse of these two rows of soldiers and watch them just maybe just one row of soldiers. Maybe just two rows of soldiers, because maybe the first one will go down. So let's do this. Time lapse, go. That was a decently long time lapse, leaving 580,000 soldiers dead. However, it's come to my attention that once again, all the soldiers are like hiding out over here. And I don't know why, so I'm gonna try and get them back on track. The dog is eating out of his food bowl. That's what that clinking sound is in the background. I share my office with my dog's food stuff, and he often plays it here, so there's a lot of background noise from my dog very often. It's kind of funny. Alright, we're gonna try and get these guys back on track. Let's just do a move order over here and see if that gets them cruising. Mayhaps. Oh my god, why you no move? You know, I'm just gonna restart the battle. I'm fed up with this. Alright, we're just gonna let the AI do their thing this time, and we're gonna just do a massive time lapse of the battlefield here. And we're gonna start, yeah, probably like right around back here, and we can see the knights coming forward, and this is it. This death tunnel battle has been harder than I thought, so let's just do the time lapse and see what happens. Alright guys, so no goofy. I've been running this for like an hour and a half now. And we're currently at 1 million kills for the World War II units. And it's basically a stalemate right now. Well, not a stalemate so much as the US just absolutely obliterating these guys. I mean, the US only has 3,131 soldiers left, but all of their soldiers are managing to get crazy amounts of kills. I mean, this little defensive holdout here is just so unbelievably powerful. We finally found the formula for the death tunnel. And look at this. Look at the body pile. Goes to the top of the freaking wall, dude. And then basically all of the medieval knights right now are coming to the top of the wall, I think to kill these fellas, but then all the Shermans just hit them with fire up here, and these guys hit them with fire from over here. So they all just end up dying, and most of the bodies end up falling down here now, too. It's absolutely absurd what's going on here. The flanks did end up getting overwhelmed. Now, this flank over here still has troopers up top on the buildings that still get pretty much any kills on the troopers trickling in, because there's really not that many soldiers coming in this way. And over on this area over here, it's pretty much the same story. We've got a few troopers up on these rooftops right now who are holding it still, but other than that, I mean, no soldiers are really coming through anyway. So right now, it's just the US dominating the battlefield here, and any of these medieval soldiers that do come in, they just pretty much get instantly slaughtered the second they get close enough. So I think we are going to end this video here, because this has been going for an hour and a half, and we're only 1/5 of the way through all of the soldiers, and I need to do some editing and things like that, but you know, at the end of the day, I mean, the US is going to win this thing no matter what. I mean, the trickle in of medieval soldiers is so slow, there's no way the US soldiers lose. And even still, a bunch of medieval soldiers are still going backwards and retreating and stuff, even though I've issued no commands this game, so I don't really know what's up with that. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below what you thought of these battles. I mean, this is definitely a US win here. It's just a matter of, you know, spending 8 more hours with the battle, but I don't really want to do that, to be honest with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.
Also, if you guys want to join our private Minecraft server, all you gotta do is join as a Patreon member, a Twitch sub, or a YouTube channel member. Once you've done that, you can message me on those platforms or on Discord and I'll whitelist you on the server. It's a great time. Feel free to join.